Run, Mario! Damn it!
It's also kind of sad that, like, Danny Phantom went from, like, a very awesome idea to him just kind of bastardizing it.
Sounds about right.
That show was just so
good. Spot. I am. I'm going in circles.
Why you should walk around in circles, walk around in circles.
Oh no, wait, I'm in a different area.
In circles, walk around there.
I love that song. I only remembered it from Boomerang.
I should have gotten that one heart from the oncoming boulders, but I was already low on health. I didn't want to take any risk.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna head to bed.
Alright.
Okay.
Y'all have a good one.
You too.
Good night, Tosh.
Night night. Oh.
Now that's something I haven't heard in a while.
I mean, it's been months.
That's true. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Shit. Damn.
I mean, at least you didn't get any fall damage.
Yeah. I think something is gonna happen here.
Oh, no.
I know that there's supposed to be a higher level there. I gotta find some, like, other coins and recover my health.
Yeah,
actually, I should see if I could take a chance here. I know, I just saw that bat. Alright. I know for certain that people are gonna, like, argue with me in the comments once this gets archived on YouTube.
I mean, it happens. Not much you can really do, but just politely reply or something.
So, I should also be honest about something. Like, as much as I say a lot of things, quote-unquote, defending G5, I'm not going to ignore the issues that it has. Because there are some issues that I will agree with. But a lot of these issues are... Oh, son of a bitch!
Well...
I'll try again.
Fuck. Yeah.
Because
there are flaws.
Yes, there are so many flaws in there, and obviously it doesn't level up to what Friendship is Magic has.
Yeah, the problem, like I said, the problem is that they jumped way too soon to the whole, oh, we're building up to the events of, oh, this is after Gen 4. Like, if they had kept that, you know, secret and then slowly built up to it, I think it would have made it a lot more interesting. Sure, there still would have been people, you know, debating about it, but it would have been a lot more better than how they did it.
Alright, you have a good one, Aquamarine. I mean, I guess so, but at the same time, if people picked up on it, they would have started to be like, oh, this is going to be a problem. I think the other issue is that because of how big of an impact Friendship is Magic had, the bar was set way too high. And I know that people are going to argue with their actuallys, but no, it's just a huge... It's kind of like what people would say about The Legend of Korra, that it's not up to what Avatar was. It's like, well, no shit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, obviously. Even though, you know, like, I will admit I didn't finish watching Legend of Korra. Not because I hated it. I mean, I did enjoy some of the episodes that I did watch. It's just that after Nickelodeon kind of screwed it over and started like changing the formats to actually watch it. I mean, they started relegating a lot of the viewing for it to their service Turbo Nick. I just ended up being unable to watch it, which is a shame because I heard the later seasons were pretty passable.
Episodes I didn't like, considering those were worst episodes. Oh, I mean, everybody's got their like bottom pick for whenever it comes to you know, episodes of like various TV shows. Then
yeah,
I don't even know what to guess, because there's a handful of episodes of Friendship is Magic that people were angry about.
I mean, one of the best examples that comes to mind is, what was his fucking name? Chad Rocco, and how he hated, the Mysterious Mare Duel episode.
I mean, a lot of people hated it, and I can kind of see why that is. At the same time, though, I have seen so much worse episodes.
Yeah, there are far more worse episodes that I think everybody can agree with that, you know, that probably make Mare Duel look like a walk in the park.
Oh wait, this is gonna loop around, isn't it? Yep, it's gonna loop around. Whoop! And
I mean, it is also kind of funny to imagine that everybody hated the Equestria Girls movies, but then after Sunset Shimmer became a redeemed character, everyone's like, okay, maybe I actually like it.
I do not care about. No, Bucky, Newbie Dash is my most hated episode of the entire show. Because it's a bad representation of concluding a character arc from an entire series.
Yeah, I know, man. Like, I actually didn't mind Newbie Dash, but I do understand the sheer frustration people had with how it basically showed Rainbow Dash essentially being abused. I mean, not abused, but bullied by her Wonderbolt.
Yeah, and a lot of people make the argument that it's about what it's called, hazing, which, number one, Dash wouldn't have known about unless somebody would have told her. Oh, and of course, if they do tell her, it's giving her, like, special treatment. Like, no, dude, communication is absolutely, like, key here.
It's key. Yeah. I personally didn't mind it too much, but at the same time, like I said, I do understand the frustration people had towards it, and I think it just depends on, like, people and their own experiences with it. Some people just, they're playing around, they just gave her a nickname, but at the same time, it would have been better if Rainbow Dash had acknowledged, hey, I don't like being called Rainbow Trash because that hits way too close to home for me.
Well, like,
it would have made it a lot more better.
I mean, she's, like, I can easily tell that she's not gonna, like, she's way too timid to tell a bunch of people who she idolizes to tell her how things should work. She would, like, almost look entitled. The whole thing is that it's teaching this ridiculously harsh lesson about, because people argue about, what is it, like, sticks and stones, words may never hurt, the sticks and stones argument, to which I call bullshit. That is one of the worst messages out there, because words hurt a lot more than you think. And obviously, this is just... Yeah, like, are you going to say that words don't hurt if you drop a racial slur or you insult someone's heritage? No, that's not going to go well for you.
As somebody who had to endure a lot of... with words growing up, yeah, no, it stinks. It stinks.
So yeah, that's already like a broken argument. And the other of which, I don't watch the show to get a harsh lesson from reality. I watch the show to escape reality.
Yeah, that's... I tend to make certain comments about events in the fandom, because I'm just like, look, people, I'm here to escape from how harsh the world is. I don't need y'all to tell me over and over again, hey, this has happened in the world, and I'm going to use the main six to parrot it. You look dumb for doing that, by the way. Nobody's going to take you seriously by using Pinkie Pie to parrot her.
Discord is not funny. How can anyone work in that episode? Fuck that. Oh, yeah, no, that episode was infuriating to watch.
Which one?
What about Discord? Some people...
Oh, yeah!
Go ahead, yeah. You know, funny enough, some people make the argument saying that, oh, the carts before the ponies, or what about Discord was worse than Newbie Dash? No, Newbie Dash was a conclusion of a character arc. That is far more damaging than a single episode that you can skip.
In hindsight, yeah, that's pretty much the big problem, because this was, like, the big moment where Rainbow Dash gets accepted as a Wonderbolt. This was everything that she was learning for.
This is and the end result was something entirely mean-spirited. And people arguing that the Wonderbolts did nothing wrong. No, they did everything wrong. If they were neglected, they were negligent in doing their little tradition of nicknaming.
Yeah, especially since, again, personally, I think that you know, them calling Rainbow Dash by a nickname that she absolutely had to endure, that was essentially a trigger spot for her, not a best move.
Like, if you want to have this lesson about, you know, toughen up from certain names you can't be called, you're already walking on eggshells, because some people have certain words that don't sit with them well in other ways. Yeah, I told you to jump, Mario. What the hell?
It's kind of... I mean, if they wanted to do something like that, it would have been interesting. Like, actually tackling an episode that reflects that would have been kind of surprising. Not only because it would have actually been a very good lesson for kids, but it also would have really hammered in the idea that Equestria isn't perfect. And obviously the writer, Hasbro, can't be like, well, we can't do that because Equestria is perfect. You've already shown that half of the...
Yeah,
we've already seen that
we've already seen how fucked up the world is. I mean, you look at Slice of Life and it explains everything. It's like, oh yeah, this is just some other like issue that'll be wrapped up in like 20 minutes or so.
Also the fact that like every single every single problem in Equestria has to be solved by 6 ponies instead of the 2 goddamn leaders of the nation.
There's, yeah, like I said, there's so many writing problems in, like, Friendship is Magic. Like, yeah, it had some cool ideas going for it, and it had some... Because the big selling point were the characters in Friendship is Magic.
Yeah, that's what made everybody very interested.
Yeah, and that's where they would write the story. Oof.
Yeah.
Wow, we've been
unfortunately,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say... But I feel like the reason that it got sloppy afterwards is because they literally had no idea how to really execute this type of thing. Because this was unexpected for them. Like,
It was
they
unexpected
probably just
for
looked
all
at
of
Friendship.
us, yeah.
Yeah, everyone, like, they looked at Friendship is Magic and just went, it's just gonna be a minor success. We're gonna push out some toys and call it a day. Literally years later, what the fuck are bronies?
And then deep the rabbit hole goes.
And then deep the rabbit hole goes.
I was trying to make some sort of metaphor as I was just falling to my death. Yeah, no, like, you pretty much put the nail on the coffin there, that Friendship is Magic was just an unexpectedly huge success. And it did some things that garnered some people's attention. But at the same time, it is, like... When it, like, put it into the writer of the, like, the shoes of the writers, they're like, oh shit, there's this adult growing fan base, and it's become huge. It's got a lot of viewership. Now we got to work with something big here. And I think that's where it, like, not necessarily fell apart, but trying to work with what they could make use of. And
I think they did as much as they could. It wasn't perfect, but it was still at least something.
Yeah. It's also why, like, even after all these years, because I was a total prick during, like, Season 4, and I didn't really think of that perspective. And that is something I will take, you know, responsibility of, aside from, you know, the shitstorm that happened with Philly Vanilli. But with, there are still some answers I would want to find out, like... The whole thing about Equestria games is that they went and centered it on Spike instead of,
the actual game itself.
Yeah, which makes me question, like, why did you make all these episodes about the games if this whole time you were going to make it about Spike? Like, what does Spike have to do with the buildup of the games?
That's kind of a fair argument.
And some people just argue, like, oh, maybe it's just a kid's show. That doesn't mean shit!
One good example that comes to mind that I wish they would have explored is that Hasbro had repeatedly said, we're going to finally explore the world of Equestria. Really? You didn't seem to fucking do that for the later episodes! Also, the fact that they kind of really didn't do much with the other characters.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, I would have loved to see a lot more episodes involving the princesses, but nope, we didn't get a lot of episodes with them.
Yeah, we have a little bit of that. I was informed somewhere that part of the reason why there hasn't been much of a Celestia episode or a Luna episode most of the time is because when it comes to animating Celestia's main, it gets more expensive, like, to pay for the frames. Like, it costs more to have Celestia present because of how delicately, like, animated she is. And I think a similar thing can be said with Luna. But
yeah,
but that's only just talk. There hasn't been much of a confirmation. You want more Cadence? I mean, I will say the moments with Cadence and Shining Armor were amazing in The Best Gift Ever. Because the two of them were complimenting each other while working each other off, and it's like, it was amazing.
Oh, those two are adorable together. It's one of the reasons I didn't get angry at, like, the existence of Shining Armor and Cadence, because they were such an adorable couple.
The thing that I heard a lot is that, oh, wait, Twilight had a brother during the release of A Candlelight Wedding. It's like, okay, yeah, maybe she didn't talk about it that much, and it just seems like out of nowhere. Some have argued that these are characters that we have to care for. It's like, well, what does that say for any other characters who just make an appearance at first, and you have to get used to caring for them?
Like, I remember that Chad Rocco, and I'm bringing up his name mainly because I think he was the biggest detractor of that stuff. And to be honest, he doesn't even care that his career is basically in the oh well, he exists type of thing.
It's
so
in the
whatever.
black hole.
Yeah, he basically was so hateful over the existence of Shining Armor and Cadence. Like, he threw, like, such anger fits because of Shining Armor's existence. And especially the fact that Cadence was an Alicorn. And I'm just like, dude, if she literally is just the Princess of Love. That's it. She's not an overpowered Alicorn like Princess Celestia or Luna. Calm your tits.
I think
Also,
that has...
she was an
Go ahead.
adorable pony. I was just gonna say, she was also fucking adorable, and I think in the later episodes, they actually really fleshed out how much of a sweetheart she is.
Wow, it's as if maybe you needed some time first before you pass your judgment.
Exactly!
Oh, I've already been here. Fuck. I gotta find that spot. Damn it. Metal Mario...
I also want...
Good.
I was also gonna comment that, in hindsight, like, even though it is sad that the show... I know that many people don't really see it as canon. I personally always still enjoy it whenever the fandom does their own creative things, because holy shit, the amount of effort and dedication the fandom does as much as, like, an actual studio is impressive. Like, there is a very interesting, like, fan comic thing that this one guy is doing, where not only do they actually do a lot with, like, the Misty relationship with Opalane, as well as Sunny and her whole, like, insecurities, they actually did a really cool idea where she fights Opalane. She actually ends up turning Opalane to stone, but in the process, she ends up getting a very nasty scar in her eye due to the magic she ended up using.
Oh, like, are you saying that somebody was trying to fill in the gaps in regards to, like, what happens between Gen 4 and 5?
No, like, this is basically someone kind of wishing, like, how Gen 5 should have gone, you know, with actually lore building instead of just slice of life episodes. Like, I actually kind of like that. And this guy did a really amazing job on the comic. Because he does include...
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, he does include that as a serious lore moment, but then he also does a slice of life moment where, Sunny is, you know, kind of having to accept now that she's scarred, that she has this, like, big nasty scar next to her eye, and then it cuts to, like, Pip doing, like, these funny hair, like, trying to do her main to kind of match the scar. It's kind of wholesome.